God chose you for the job. Or let me say that again. I said, God chose you for the job. And you may say, what are you talking about? God chose me for the job. You guys, whenever you have a job, right? That means you're working for somebody. I didn't say you're the boss now. I said whenever you have a job, that means you're working for somebody. And your job is working for the Lord. Whether you see it right now or whether you don't see it right now, your job is working for the Lord. God chose you, child of God. He chose you for the job. And that's why you feel in your spirit that you just don't get along with people sometime, and you feel in your spirit that you don't fit in, and you just look at your life and you're like, God, I just feel different. I can't explain it, but I feel different. I don't fit in. I don't fit in. It is because you were chosen for the job. Child of God, God put something in you that nations need to hear. Are you hearing this? Are you hearing this? I said he put something in you that nations need to hear. And you may say, oh, well, I'm still struggling with this, and I'm still battling with this, and I'm still struggling, and I'm still going through this, and God ain't going to use me. Okay, but there's a time, child of God. There is a time when God is going to clean you up, right? You're going through that now because there's something that God is using. See, I always say that these processes, the things that we go through, struggle with, there's always something that God is doing behind it, and we don't see it because we're in it, right? And whenever we're in it, we just don't see a way out of it. But God is going to use that. Maybe God is going to use that trial, or he's going to use that bondage, that thing that you're struggling with. Maybe he's going to use that to help you to get to trust him, to grow your faith, to believe him more. I don't know how God is going to work in your situation, but I know God is behind the things that are going on in your life, and he's going to use that for his glory, and it's going to grow you. And you guys, you feel like you different. It's not that you feel like you better than anybody, but you don't understand why you don't want to go outside sometimes. I don't understand why when somebody call me, I don't want to answer the phone. I can't understand why I don't want to text back. Like I don't understand, but I don't feel like doing it. I don't know why I don't want to answer. I don't know why I don't want company. You don't want company because God chose you for the job. Oh my goodness, God chose you for the job, child of God. He chose you for the job, right? Let me tell you, when God chooses you, listen, you guys, you're never going to think that God could use you the way that he's going to use you, right? You may look at your life again and look at the bad things that you're still struggling with and what you're going through. And the devil will continue to tell you that God ain't going to use you because you're still struggling with that. God ain't pleased with your life. You're still battling with that. But let me tell you that God knows exactly where you are. He knows exactly where you are. And he knows where you're going to be when it's time for him to use you for his glory, right? So you guys, there's something inside of you that it's like you're always being pulled back to the house. You may want to do certain things. You got a desire to do certain things. You may want to go certain places or be with certain people, but there's always something that's pulling you back to the house. Why? Because you were chosen by God for the job. And you're not going to be able to mix and mingle and go here and do this with everybody else. No, you were chosen for the job, child of God. You were chosen for the job, right? But why do God want you in a house like that? Why can't you mingle and why can't you get out? Why is something always pulling you back to the house? Why is something causing you to not want to hang out like you used to hang out? Why is something causing you to not want to even go out and do so much? Why? Why do you feel like sometimes you're isolated? Why do you feel like you're different? Why are you feeling like that? It's because you are, right? God put that thing inside of you, child of God. He put that thing inside of you, that thing that continues to draw you back to the house. And let me tell you what happens, you guys, right? Because many times, I remember when I was in my place of isolation, or I was in that place of I didn't fit in, so I felt like go back to the house. Everything, it was just pulling me back to the house. And when you want to go out, it's like it's nothing to do. It's just pulling you back to the house. And I struggled with that for a long time. I was trying to get into stuff, and something was just pulling me back to the house all the time, right? And so at a while, I got so bored in the house, like, ain't nothing to do. You know, ain't nothing to do. And then, but the Bible is laying right there. And it's like God is making me look at it like, you know, you try to do something else, something is pulling you back to the Bible. Something is pulling you back to the Bible. Something is pulling you back to the Bible. And what's going to happen also, you're going to begin to get interested in preaching. You're going to get interested in, you know, watching videos maybe on YouTube of preachers or TikTok or what. You're going to find yourself being interested in those things that you were not interested in like that before. But why? It is because you were chosen by God for the job. You guys, and like I say, don't look at your life right now. Do not look at your life right now, because if the enemy can keep you looking at your life right now and what you're going through, what you're battling with, what you're struggling with, no, don't look at your life right now. You just know that you were chosen, and you feel it inside that you got something is different about you. Oh, you feel it inside that something is different about you, child of God, right? And like I said, there are nations that are waiting on what God has put in you. So as I'm in the house and this Bible, it's just nothing to do. I'm bored. So it's something just keep making me look at the Bible and pulling me toward the Bible. So I pick up the Bible and I just begin to read, and I just begin to read, and I just begin to read, and I begin to get interested in it, and I begin to start getting revelation and understanding. And this is in the very beginning, you guys, right? And again, like I say, you're going to start understanding spiritual things better. You're going to begin to see things that other people aren't seeing, child of God, right? It's because you were chosen for the job. It's something inside of you, child of God. It's something down on the inside. Oh, yes, that God placed in there, right? God needs you to be in the house, right? God needs you to be separated. You can't be with everybody else. You can't do what everybody else is doing, right? Because God needs you to hear. Hear what? You need to hear him in the spirit. Now, this place where you are and this thing that's tugging you back to always be by yourself, in that place, child of God, this is where you're going to need to go deeper in prayer so that God can speak to you and give you the instructions for the assignment. So if you are stuck in the house and you just find yourself always wanting to go back to the house, it's because God needs you to hear. He needs you to hear. He needs you to hear. And like I say, there are people waiting on you in other countries. And don't look at it like, oh, that can't be for me. You know, I can't do that. That ain't for me. That's for somebody else. No, the very one that don't think is for them is the very one that is for. I'm telling you, God likes to prove you wrong. When you think you know how your life's supposed to go, God gonna show you, okay, you think you know how your life's supposed to go, I'm gonna take it in a direction that you did not expect it to go. Let me tell you guys. And so God opened up a door, right, for me to go to Africa, right? He opened up a door for me to go to Africa. He opened up a door for me to go to Nigeria, preaching. Opened up a door for me to go to Liberia, preaching. Crusade. Opened up a door for me to go to London, preaching. Opened up a door for me to go to Nigeria, Liberia, and Kenya, preaching. You see what I'm saying? If you would have told me that, I would have said, man, this is, you must be crazy. You must be crazy. That would never happen in my life. I would guarantee my life. If somebody would have told me that, right? If somebody would have told me that, I would not have believed it. But the one that you don't think, which is you, that's going to be for you, is going to be for you. But why did God send me to Africa? Because I was chosen for the job, just like you are chosen for the job, child of God. Don't go by what it looks like, what you're dealing with and going through right now. God has chosen you for the job. Oh yes, there's something inside of you that someone needs. Are you hearing this? Now, I'm not bragging on my accomplishments, but I'm teaching. I'm trying to give you an example as to not to go by how you think your life is supposed to go. The Bible says that God knows the plans that he has for your life. You don't know the plans. You think you know the plans, but you don't know the plans. That very thing that you plan on doing, God will redirect you and put you on a path that he wants for you to go. Right, child of God? So, if you got to do what you got to do, child of God, do not fight the process, because God has chosen you, right? He's chosen you to hear. He's chosen you for such a time as this. Be blessed.